my screen. I hope that's going to be visible to everybody. If not, you can let me know, of course. Let's see. Mahalo. What's up, Mr. Stussy? And what's up, everybody else? Let me know if you can hear me, guys, and if you can see the screen. I see some people talking about crypto in the chat. Maybe we can see what that's about. But we're here for the DOCU earnings, right? DOCU sign. So let me just go to their chart. I basically already have done a little bit of work before the stream. So if we're looking at DOCU here, this is trading within a range between 39 and 69 bucks. And my expectation is that it's more likely that it's going to the range high here at 69. But earnings can, of course, bring a lot of volatility with it. So I'm just going to mark a couple of other levels out where maybe we're going to come back to during a big earnings event here. Let me just go to the 5-minute time frame and go to these extended trading hours so that we can potentially see the price action unfolding here. Good. Let's see. An important level for us to get back above is going to be 57.3. But for now, let's just get to the 5-minute time frame here. And I'll also go to my earnings calendar and see what other companies have their earnings as well. So NASDAQ earnings calendar. This is the biggest one. Let me put that on here as well. Right. So we have earnings calendar today, Thursday 5th. So we have DOCU, and then we have a couple of other ones here as well. AVGO, IoT, and well, a couple of other tickers that I do remember. So we can take a look at them as well. But for now, let's maybe focus here for a moment. I actually checked this chart. I've never had an allocation in this, but it does look very interesting to me. Like 69.45 is going to be a magnet, even if we're going to come down here. So there might very well be a swing trade in the premium section in the next couple of days on this. I just really want to make sure that I'm not going to be early here. Let's see. This level right here, that's an important one. Let's go to the 5-minute again. Kind of just see, right? Also, if we're going to Webull, let me just put DOCU on here as well. It's easier to see the volume here as well. Let's maybe stick with Webull for a moment. So extend the trading hours, 5-minute time frame. Here we go. This is not going to be a very long stream. Just going to take a look at the price action here for DOCU for about 20 minutes and then call it a day. And then go to extended. Yeah, there we go. Good. And so typically what you see with earnings or with anything, a news event, is a move one direction, and then it goes basically the other direction. It's not, of course, 100% thing, but it is something which you will see very, very often. So it's 4 p.m. right now, and just 5 minutes after the close, and we immediately see a little bit of a blip up, and that is always designed to get people basically excited. And or vice versa, if you see a big nuke down just after kind of the news event, that is designed to shake people out, and then typically it still goes and continues up. Again, not always, but this is a very, very standard approach with volatility. It just goes one side, fakes everybody out, and then goes down. So I was looking at the market a little bit today. Overall, a lot of bearishness. I'm most certainly not in a rush to be a buyer here on DOCU sign, but I do think that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to 69 bucks. And there we go. That's already what I'm talking about, right? Big wick to the one side and then move to the other side. So let's see how far this can nuke down. If we're just on the 1 hour time frame here, we're already very close to that 56.34 level. That was a low from yesterday, 56.34. So I imagine that we're at least going to make our way there. Let's maybe go for a moment to TradingView to see if there's any numbers coming out already. But oh, there we go. That is a wild candle. Let's see on Webull. Same thing here. So there we go. Let's see how far this. And they most certainly got to 56.34, right? Just notice the big wick here all the way to 54. That is some. This is wild price action, and you definitely don't want to put yourself in front of this either long or short. You just want to see where this ends up at the end of all the volatility and the noise, and then you can see where it opens up tomorrow, and potentially play a continuation trade on it tomorrow if it's bullish. This is really a 50-50, right? About an equal wick to the top and to the bottom, with a body that is basically changing colors every couple of seconds. So I don't have a clear bias on where the next 5-minute candlestick would go, to be honest. That's if we go back to the 5-minute here, that is a 5-minute candle with, let's see, a $6 range made by one candle. If we go to TradingView, oh, there we go. Let's have our read up on this. Forecast Q3 revenue range 74.3 to 747 million. Not really that much interesting. Let's see. Net. So here are basically, if you're on TradingView, they're giving some numbers, but these numbers really don't matter. It's the price action that matters to me. So very, very interesting candlestick here on the 5-minute. That's what I'm telling you, right? It was an indecisive candle with about an equal wick to the upside and to the downside, a body that is just changing colors every few seconds. I will repeat that. This is absolutely the last thing what you would want to go long or short on. People right now are maximally basically getting stopped out both directions. This is, as a trader, I'm just here to make a profit on the mistakes that other people are making. And actually trading this altogether is a mistake. So I'm here to see how far are we going to go up, how far are we going to go down, and where are we going to open up tomorrow. It's always so tricky with these numbers, and I know some other analysts, they put them in the chat or on YouTube. That's not what you'll get from me. I'll simply stick here with levels and look at how price respects them. DocuSign reports Q2 EPS of 97 cents versus an estimate of 81 cents. If whatever is true about this, I don't know. Doesn't really matter, right? Very oftentimes you see some kind of, beat earnings, and then actually the price was already, everything was already priced in. And even on good earnings or supposedly good earnings, you see a move down. So you cannot just look at these numbers and basically say this is bullish or bearish, in my opinion. You would need to look at price action. So remember, literally a couple of minutes ago, when I said that this level was important, right? Looks like we wicked above that level for now, and we're not able to get above that. So instead of going long or short here in the now, I would say to myself, well, if we do get back above 58.06, and if we could flip the 58.06 level into a support level, then I'm looking for the range from 58 to 69. And then I'll put my stop loss below a local low here. So instead of trying to long or short here, I want to see the chart come to and basically do what I want to see it do. So what am I going to do here on DocuSign? Basically, I'm going to place an alert right at that 58.06 level. I would want to know when we cross back up above 58.06. And what I actually want to see is that we get above that, and then we close at least a 1 hour candle above that. Then that resistance level could potentially become an entry for me, support. But as long as that doesn't happen, I'm very much just prepared to go down lower, right? Regardless of numbers, as I said, DOCU is trading within this range between 69 at the top, and let me make that a blue line, and 39 at the bottom. So within a range, I'm looking for buys from support or the range low. So maybe we come back all the way to 39.57. Again, you never know that you see something like this on the chart. So my alerts right now would be at 58.06. I want to see that level flip into support, and then I'll play the continuation to 69. Or this can literally nuke down as low as it wants to. The first level that I had on my chart is 48.07. That's kind of an intermediary support, but the real best swing trades I would reckon are going to be found from this level at the range lows at 39.57. Good. Let's go back to Webull and follow along on the 5-minute time frame, but just wanted to go to TradingView for a moment to give some clarity about, well, what is my approach here. So no, sometimes I see people, they're typically, of course, trolls in the chat that say, oh, buy or sell, and there's no answer to that right now. Of course, there's no buy or sell. We're just planning. So that level is going to be important. And let's go back to Webull. What I could do on Webull is basically just put my two lines here. So I have a line at 48.7 and one at 39.57. So let's see, 48.7 would be a support from down lower. Let's put that down here. And you can definitely not just count on the first support holding. Like I said, this can very well just come back down to basically stop everybody out below 30 bucks. And that is how the stock market simply works, right? One moment it's trading almost at 61 and people are already counting themselves rich. Oh, we're long on DOCU and we're going higher. And a couple of minutes later, you could literally be trading down way lower. So if we go to TradingView here, maybe just for fun, we take the market capitalization, just a standard little indicator. It's nothing special, but this is what I like to basically look at. And it basically shows you, and especially during volatility, for example, how much money is leaving this company, this ticker. So the previous 5-minute candle here, if you kind of look at market cap, they have an 11.56 billion market cap, and now it's 11.08. So that's about a $500 million wipeout. Sorry, yeah, $500 million wipeout in just that little 1 hour candle. It was a 1 hour candle though. Let's see. And market cap is nothing crazy. It's not going to give you an indication of where price is going. It's just going to show you the amount of money that is leaving or entering this equity, right? And I personally like to look at it. Again, it's not a buy-sell indicator by any means. It's just for some context. Let's maybe get the volume in here as well. So it's a lot of volume coming in after 4 p.m. here. Let's see, 37,000 shares and 33,000 shares. That's about 70,000 shares exchanging hands. I would say that the way that it's currently looking is bearish, but once again, I do have a overall bullish bias on this, and I will wait for 58.06 to flip into a support level. And that is definitely a level which you would want to, for example, also put a line on your Webull. So if you're, for example, on Webull, go ahead and draw yourself a line, for example, at 58.06. That's going to be an important resistance, and that's going to be potentially in the future a strong support. So 58.06. Let's make that a red line because it's resistance at the moment. Good. Let's maybe take a second ticker that also had their earnings, but definitely want to make sure that we're all prepared on DOCU here. Not doing anything too early, not trying to be the smart ass here and force a trade. There's no need for that. Let me just go back to my earnings calendar here. Let's see. So after the close, looks like this pot ticker also has is reporting. Let me just maybe go on Webull here for a second and see if there's also volatility on this one. There we go. Yeah. I do have to check out this ticker a little bit more, but I did see that they have their earnings. So is this coming from a crazy gap down, this spot thing? Let's zoom out a bit. Oh, it looks like this did come down from a crazy gap, right? So the previous earnings, actually, this is very interesting, right? On the 29th of May, apparently they also had earnings, and they teleported from $18.30 to $12. And now it's earnings again. Now, I'm not saying this is going up, but if you guys remember, for example, Starbucks, they had earning one day, absolutely nuked down, consolidated a little bit, then had earnings again, and basically just teleported straight back from where they were coming. So I'm not too against looking for a continuation trade on POT, for example. Let's see. So I'll go to TradingView here and put that chart next to us. DocuSign fiscal. Wow, good. Anybody who wants to read the news, it's not going to be that difficult to basically get your hands on the news. I think it's going to be more difficult for anybody here to get their hands on some good levels. So that's what I'll try and give to you guys. So POT, UI POT. Board authorizes $500 million expansion of share repurchase program. Interesting, and they're not the only company who is kind of gearing up for a major buyback season. I saw, would have to think, but I saw another company today that did the same thing, or that at least announced the same. So let me see here on the daily time frame on this POT. Looks like 1324 was that level which we couldn't get above, and now on after hours, so if we go to extended trading hours, we're now above that level. So the break here of 1324 is bullish, but it's not a guarantee that it will only go up, of course. So I would like to see the price here come back to 1324 and basically reject from it, in the sense that it is going to hold it as support. This is what I would like to see. Some price action that goes and tests 1324. That's that daily level from a couple days back. And then we get continuation. That's what I would like to see. Let's see, Doku with looks like a V-shaped recovery so far from the price action since 4 p.m. Kind of visible on the market cap as well, right? Starting to look like a V here. Good on my end. What seems to be tanking, Mr. Stussy? You were sorry, that was 10 minutes ago. I think you were talking about Doku, of course. Yeah. Seems to. So we will stay around for a bit longer, of course, and see if it's really bearish, or if we're actually going to get ourselves above 58.06 and then maybe flip that level into a support to go higher. And then all of this would become a shakeout and a fake out. But we don't know that yet, right? We would want to see confirmation of that getting above 58.06, exactly what I drew out here. I quickly wanted to go to POT as well on the daily time frame to basically mark out the gap which we have left behind on those previous earnings, right? So that's a huge gap. 1808 is going to be the top of that gap. Yeah, it's an interesting move that we've seen here. But let me go back to the 5 minutes. Right, let's just follow along. DocuSign here, if it's going to wick like this, it's not going to look all too strong. And that's why I also said you got to wait for that confirmation. Because just seeing a green candlestick isn't enough to say, yeah, let me buy, right? There's plenty of green candlesticks that do not keep going up. I'm a big fan of this spot price action. Oh. So if you would have to ask me here, left or right, which one is the most bullish one for the days going forward? Of course, I can be wrong, but POT here looks like this is gearing up for a move higher. Let's see. And there was just some notification about their CEO or something, but I missed it. So I'm just thinking, I'm personally just full transparency, right? I'm not here to try and tell you that, oh, I'm going to trade this, because I personally don't trade during after hours. I am going to trade during regular trading hours. But of course, I know that people do like to see a trade ID or a trade setup. And an ID here for me would be, for example, an entry for pot at 13.24 with a stop loss at 12.91 and a target at 13.95. That would look good. But once again, if you take that trade, just know that I'm not going to be in with you. So this is really just for entertainment and educational purposes, and I'm not even going to take this myself. So, but nonetheless, I'll keep it on there. And for DocuSign, I'm thinking about the following at the moment, right? So we had that 58.06 level, which I already told you guys more than once that it's an important level. So what I would like to see is, I'll repeat myself, is a 1 hour candlestick close above 58.06. If we do that, then I'm going to consider being a buyer at 58.06, that same level, which acted as resistance, then flipping into support. My target is going to be 69.45, and my stop loss on that trade is going to be 53.47. That's about a 2.5 R trade. That means that I'm looking to get 2.5 times the amount of reward for the amount of risk that I'll be taking. So that's my trade setup. Literally just on the chart already. I hope this is more helpful to you guys than just me reading all these numbers. Well, you can all do that for yourself, right? Everybody is able to go to Google and to basically investigate if you want to, fundamentally speaking. But most people here, well, are not that technically savvy. So I hope this helps you. And if you wonder, right, for example, you're new and you're like, how the hell is this guy just putting random lines on his chart, or seemingly random lines? Well, same thing for anybody watching on YouTube. I can explain why those lines are important if you come to my coaching in the Penny Boys Premium section. There we will explain all of that to you. But for now, I'm just gonna stick on here and observe a little bit more of the price action. But I like what I'm seeing so far. And can we do maybe one more? AVGO. This is one with a massive market cap. Let's just go to our Webull and have a look at that one too. For the people that want these trade setups, I will leave a how to say, the screenshot of my charts in the free live stream chat here in a bit. But first, I wanted to check on AVGO as well, and let's see. So AVGO, like I said, if we look here on the earnings calendar on NASDAQ, we can see that this is the company with the highest market capitalization that is reporting today. Actually, incredibly way much higher than anything DOCU or POT related. Let's see. This is a $717 billion company. So if we go and put that third chart on here, let's see. So we have DOCU, and we have POT, and then we have AVGO. Also want to go to the extended trading hours. This is a significant nuke, right? And just like with now, of course, something very similar than for DOCU could happen, where we have a red candle Actually, it's not going to continue down, but we don't know, right? What I do know is that in the last, let's see, in the last 5 to 10 minutes, this thing lost about $40 billion of market capitalization. I always find it so interesting to kind of look at a 5-minute candle and to understand that $40 billion is leaving the Broadcom system here. Again, might be a nerd for finding that interesting, but hey, here we are, right? So let me zoom out for this one for a moment and kind of figure out some good supports for us to look for a bounce. And I'm going to do that by going to the daily time frame chart first. I will have 128.5 and I will have 135.83, at least for now. That's not to say that these levels have to hold. And so if they don't hold, I'll have to go back to a higher time frame and figure out where it could hold. But for now, I will have 135.83 and 128.5 as two levels of interest. So what I would like to see here is that this basically dwindles down in one straight line, preferably, nukes below either one of these two levels, and then does something like this, where it gets below, basically reclaims my support level, and then sends higher. So I remember as an early trader as well, of course, probably like everybody, you see big red candle and you're like, wow, this is now a good buying opportunity, and you buy, and what happens, it basically continues to go down. That's not what we're after, right? So how do you avoid that? Well, I'm not buying anything here. I would require this thing to go to 135.83 at least. So just as for DocuSign, I'm going to put some alerts here. So for Doku, that was at 58.06. And for Broadcom, I'm going to have my alerts here at 135.83 and at 128.5. So add alerts. I want to know if we get below that 135.83, and maybe we even continue down lower. And then I would also like to know if we get below 128.5. So like I said, just seeing a big red candle doesn't make it a buy, you guys. Good. And pot, I would definitely keep this 1324 level on your radar. Even if this does continue higher, it might very, very well still come back to 1324 to basically test that. Like once again, that is basically the top here that was made on July 5th. And actually, it was just 1 cent higher, so 1325. The top that is made on July 5th. So that is literally 2 months ago. That was our resistance. Now we're 2 months later, and that is going to be my main play for pot. I want to see 1325 now flip into a support level. And so if this thing extends up and does something like this, then sure, I won't be in, because I have confidence that over time we will come back down to 1325 to test it. And then, of course, say, for example, another kind of very common occurrence that I had in earlier trading times, you see something like this and you say, well, it's bullish, and you go long, and actually the chart continues to go up, but you're not taking profit. And then a day later or so, you are not in profit anymore. It's coming back down to test one of these levels. And at that point, you're like, well, I bought here, it went up, and now it came down. And here I'll sell. And then what happens? The chart rips up, or the price rips up, I should say. So it's kind of this mental game of chess even, of understanding that, yeah, it can go up, but if you're going to forget to take profits, it's probably going to come back down. And that's not the level where you're going to want to sell. At least that's going to be hopefully a strong support. Again, no guarantees. That's why you work with a stop loss, of course. Good. So we have Doku, pot, and Broadcom here. I actually wanted to check SPY and whether Broadcom has a big weighting on the SPY. Actually, I have no clue, so I would have to check. SPY stocks again. S&P stocks weighting. Oh, for example, here. So I have my standard tabs here, my earnings tabs, and then my just to kind of remind myself here again, what has the most weight? See, Broadcom is number 10, right? AVGO. So $717 billion market cap. And what is this? My God, I don't want your ads. So this has a 1.45% weight on the SPY. It's most certainly not as heavy, of course, as Apple, Microsoft, or Nvidia, but still, it's a top 10 weighted stock in the SPY. So this might have some bigger market implications for tomorrow if this does not find any kind of a bid. If prices will just hang out here at 145, like then again, simply gonna wait until price makes its way $10 lower, right? This is not an entry here for me. I'll put in my volume on pot as well. Looks like here even that's quite interesting, right? Even before 4 p.m., 5 minutes before the close, we already saw a huge amount of volume come in with a very small candlestick here. So volume first and then price rising afterwards. And looks like we got another good volume spike. So that's exactly what you want to see, right? The break of a resistance like 1325 and not on shallow volume, but with actually a good volume spike to give a little bit more confidence that, yeah, that's a strong break of this resistance. But then seeing the volume die down like this while price is crabbing up, like I said, that's waiting for this retest at the moment. Something like this. And it's kind of the same volume makeup on all these different things that have their earnings report. Same thing here with Broadcom. Quite a lot of volume coming in just 5 minutes before the close. Actually, the same thing happened both on Broadcom, on POT, and on DocuSign. So 5 minutes before the close, tons of volume coming in, and then you get that big move, and now the volume seemingly is dying down a little bit. So my suggestion, honestly speaking, would be to have these levels on your chart. You have a trade setup here for Doku, and you have a trade setup here for POT. And for Broadcom, you also have two levels to basically look at. Now, I'm saying I'll be looking for that to turn into support. If you wonder, once again, what does that mean and how do I play from it? It's difficult to explain here in a short earnings stream, but you come to my coaching and I will tell you all about how you would want to see price react and respect that level for you to become confident that, yeah, you want to go ahead and maybe play the long position. So this is a little bit of shilling, of course, of my own coaching section or any of the other coaching sections. They're all going to explain you the same, not the same things, but a way of basically getting on board of a trade with confidence. Well, honestly speaking, the job's done simply by figuring out the best levels to play from. That's it. So we'll stick around for a little bit more, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe we can look at one more chart. If someone in the chat has something that I can help with, I can stick around for a moment here. But as I said, the heavy lifting is done by finding the levels and then waiting for them to get hit. We say that on every single stream because it's true, of course. Let's see. Let's clean this up a little bit so that everything on my charts is... let's see, Broadcom falls after reporting Q3 loss. Well, we kind of figured that out even without looking at the numbers, right? That it wasn't too much of a hot earnings sprint. I'm gonna make sure also that all these stickers are on my watch list. I think Doku is already on there. Pretty sure. Let's double check. Doku. POT was definitely not on there yet. But I'm very happy to check this because otherwise I wouldn't have known that this is actually breaking a key resistance on decent volume. So I'm even going to attach a little bit of a color to this. A green color means something high on the radar here. So if you're on TradingView, you can have your tickers and you can even kind of attach a little bit of a color label to them, right? To me, green means this is something what tomorrow I want to check out in the morning. And AVGO should be on my watch list, but I don't think it is. So we'll put that on there as well. Good. AVG. Oh, there we go. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Let's see if there's anything else. IoT. Maybe we can have a quick look at IoT as well. Samsara company. So seems like just even looking at these candlesticks, right? You see a big body, and then the bodies are becoming smaller, and the volume is becoming more shallow. So it's unlikely that we're going to make our way to one of the levels on the chart right now or in the next, say, 10 minutes. But it is very likely that we're going to make our way to these levels in regular trading hours tomorrow. So that's what you definitely want to be aware of. And then we wanted to look at Samsara, right? IoT, Samsara, INC. Zoom out on the daily here for a moment. I'll make these other 2 charts a little bit smaller so we can have a proper look. Looks like this Samsara IoT stock has resistance at, let's see, 42.28. If we get above 42.28, where can this go? Let's see. Does this actually have more price history? 1 week is what I needed. So it looks like this is actually listed in, let's see, listed in 2021, and we're almost at all-time high. So this is also something that I absolutely need to keep on my watch list here for IoT, because when things fly into all-time high territory, it can be quite drastic, and it can be quite the impulse. So if we go to the 15-minute time frame here, what do we see? Well, that's a nice move of their earnings report, but we are still trading below the resistance at 42.28. So I'm going to place myself on alert at 42.28 so that I know that if we're getting above that, that IoT is making new all-time highs. And I'm going to basically wait for that prior all-time high to turn into a support level. Bot reports strong Q2 results, 500 million share repurchase program, upbeat guidance. Yeah, we understand. We've already had our trade set up on the chart here. Good, thank you. And Samsara, it's not the all-time high at 42.28, but that is the most important resistance. So 42.28 for Samsara IoT. If that is going to flip into a support, I would say this is probably going to $50. Just a round number for starters. So good, 42.28. Kind of just suggest that you're aware of that level as a resistance right now. So if you're looking at it, $41, well, if you're longing here, what is the upside potential to resistance is about $1. But if you break that resistance, come back to it, and there's no all-time high, well, we're basically making new all-time highs, then the upside potential is going to be way more than just a $1 move to the upside. So I hope that helps as well. Let's put that on the watch list if I haven't already. I think I did just do that. IoT. Good. Right. I mean, that's mostly what I can do for you guys is look at these companies, give you guys the levels, and kind of advise to be patient and put these levels on your chart so that you can be prepared when the price comes there. And remember what I said here for pot, right? You're going to see all kinds of the good news and the this and the that, but I'm not chasing anything because I still think that this is going to go down to 13.25. Not immediately now, maybe, but at some point in the future to flip that level into a support. Like, I'll just repeat myself. You buy here, right? Price still goes up, and then you forget to take profit, and tomorrow you're coming here. And then the buyer here is a seller here. So if you're buying here, then you become the liquidity for someone like me who is basically waiting for a bullish retest, or like other people who do that, of course, right? So when you see big green candles to the upside, you don't want to immediately be too over eager to press any buttons, because once you're in, right? And if it does come down, let's see, from $14 all the way to 13.25, that's already a good 5% pullback. So say you're just smashing in $1,000 or $10,000 in something like this, and then you're 5% down, just it's not pleasant, of course, especially because you could have gotten way more shares at the lower level, right? It's needless to say that at 13.25 you're going to be able to get more shares with $1,000 than at $14. And again, that dollar amount could be any dollar amount that you're comfortable with. But good. I think I've done my job of giving you levels and trade setups and kind of talking you guys through the charts for these 40 minutes. I hope that I did do that well. If not, you can of course leave me some feedback and say that it wasn't a helpful stream and what I can do better, of course. Yeah, and if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow, of course, for the regular trading session in the premium section. So I'll definitely be joining some of the multiple streams tomorrow, and these are definitely some of the tickers that are going to be high on my radar for a day trade tomorrow, or even to take a swing allocation, right? I'll anyways keep everybody updated in the premium section everywhere, as always. That's not a problem. Good. I will end it here, though, and kind of just enjoy my last evening visiting my parents here and watch some television with them. That's more important for now. Good. I hope that I could serve you guys. If you liked it or not, let me know, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for spending your time here with me, and bye-bye.